Listen carefully because this is where most people get it wrong. Walking away has power, yes. Silence has power, yes. But if you think disappearing alone is enough to shake someone who took you for granted, you are aiming too low. Real impact does not come from hiding. It comes from rising. It comes from becoming so strong, so clear, so deeply focused on your own life that your absence starts speaking for you. Not through drama, not through revenge, not through long messages, late-night paragraphs, or emotional goodbyes. Through change, through peace, through growth they can feel without you saying one word. And here is the truth nobody tells you. When you stop trying to be noticed and start becoming unforgettable, everything changes. Stay with me, because this is not just about making him feel your absence. This is about becoming the version of yourself that no longer needs anyone to validate your worth. And once that shift happens, the energy changes, the story changes, and your whole life starts moving in a new direction. No contact can be a strong first move, but by itself it is only the beginning. If you really want him to feel the loss, you cannot just vanish and sit in pain, hoping your silence does the work for you. Silence is only effective when something is happening behind it. The real power is in what you build while the world thinks you are simply being quiet. This is not about punishing anyone. This is about your evolution. When somebody walks out of your life, ignores your value, or treats your love like it was ordinary, the strongest response is not to chase, beg, explain, or prove. The strongest response is to grow in ways they never expected. You elevate your mind, you strengthen your body, you calm your spirit, you rebuild your confidence. You stop centering your life around who left, and you start centering it around who you are becoming. That is when the shift begins. That is when your silence gains weight. And trust me, when your absence is matched by real growth, it lands differently. Keep watching, because the next part is where everything turns. The first thing you have to do is lift yourself higher in every area of life. This is not about him anymore. It is about you becoming the best version of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and even spiritually. A breakup can hurt deeply, but it can also wake you up. It can force you to ask better questions. Who am I now? What do I want now? What kind of life am I truly trying to build? The moment you stop staring at the loss and start looking at the lesson, you begin taking your power back. Start with your mind. If your thoughts are still trapped in what he is doing, who he is with, whether he misses you, or if he is checking your page, then he still controls too much of your emotional energy. That is not freedom. That is not growth. Real power is waking up and thinking about your plans, your future, your next move. Read things that sharpen you. Listen to voices that build you. Spend time with people who stretch your thinking and remind you of your value. Feed your mind with purpose and your energy begins to change. Once that happens, you stop looking broken. You start looking rare, then take care of your body because pain can either weaken you or become fuel. Heartbreak drains people when they sit in it too long, but if you decide to move, train, walk, stretch, lift, run, dance, breathe, and rebuild yourself, that same pain starts working for you instead of against you. There is something powerful about catching your own reflection and seeing strength where sadness used to live. It does not mean you never hurt. It means you refuse to stay there. When you become healthier, more alive, more confident, and more steady, people notice. He notices too, whether he says it or not. But do not do it for his eyes. Do it because you deserve to feel strong inside your own skin. And your emotional healing matters just as much. Do not let pain harden into bitterness. Do not carry anger like a trophy. Let it go for your own peace. Write your thoughts down. Talk to someone wise. Sit with yourself. Pray if that helps you. Breathe deeply. Heal honestly. The moment you release the past, instead of replaying it, you step into a version of yourself that is much harder to shake, much harder to replace, and much harder to forget. Your goals matter now more than ever. Your career matters. Your money matters. Your future matters. There is something deeply attractive about a person who stops bleeding energy into what ended and starts pouring that same energy into what can still be built. If you got distracted in the relationship, now is your time to refocus. If you paused your dreams, now is the time to restart them. Take the class, learn the skill, apply for the promotion, launch the idea, build the side business, fix your routine, organize your life. Create structure where there used to be chaos. One of the strongest feelings in the world is looking back and realizing the version of you that once cried over being left behind has now built a life beyond what you imagined then. That kind of growth changes your presence. And here is a part many people miss. No contact is about removing one person, but your real power comes from adding more life. Add new places, new hobbies, new rooms, new people, new experiences. Travel if you can. Explore your city if you cannot. Try things that scare you a little. Be seen laughing again. Be seen living again. Not for performance, not for attention, for real. Because when your life becomes full, your absence becomes heavy. Social media can play a role, but only if you use it the right way. This is not about fake smiles, thirst traps, hidden messages, or posting for a reaction. That still means he is on your mind. The point is to let your life reflect real joy, real movement, real peace. Post what honestly makes you feel alive. Share what is natural. Show your growth without announcing it. People can tell when happiness is forced. They can tell when somebody is trying too hard to look moved on, but they can also feel when someone has truly shifted. That quiet confidence is what changes everything. And if he reaches out, because sometimes he will, how you respond matters more than the message itself. If you rush to reply, if you pour your emotions out, if you act relieved that he came back, you reveal that he still has access to your center. But if you stay calm, if you take your time, if your energy feels steady, respectful, and distant, that silence will say more than any speech ever could. People often expect a reaction. What unsettles them is composure. What unsettles them is peace. What unsettles them most is realizing they no longer have the same effect on you. That is where the message truly lands. Build a daily life that makes you feel alive again. Wake up with purpose. Have somewhere for your energy to go. A lot of people stay stuck because their whole routine leaves too much room for old memories. They sit in empty hours, replay old conversations, and wonder why healing feels slow. Fill your days with movement and meaning. Join a class. Pick up a hobby. Learn something new. Volunteer. Start a challenge. Change your environment. Change your habits. Change the rhythm of your days. When your life becomes active, your mind stops living only in the past. And the confidence that comes from being fully engaged in your own world is different. It is magnetic. It is clean. It does not beg to be seen, yet people notice it anyway. Keep company with those who bring light into your life. Stay close to friends who remind you who you are when pain tries to make you forget. Meet new people. Expand your circle. Let fresh conversations pull you into fresh thinking. The more connected you become to people who bring out your best, the less room there is for the past to keep ruling your heart. And that is the hidden win. You are not just surviving what happened, you are becoming larger than it. Create a strong vision for your future and move toward it every day. Do not just say you want better, build better. Write down the life you want, the peace you want, the habits you want, the home you want, the health you want, the work you want, the love you want. Then start aligning your days with that picture. Even small steps matter. One strong morning, one smart choice, one disciplined evening, one boundary kept, one promise to yourself honored. This is how people rebuild from the inside out. Take care of yourself in visible ways too. Dress with intention. Stand tall. Walk slowly. Speak clearly. Rest well. Eat better. Give your body what it needs. Give your mind what it needs. Give your soul room to breathe. When you invest in your own well-being, you send a message to yourself first. I matter. I am not waiting to be chosen. I am choosing me. Emotional healing also asks for honesty. Feel what you feel, but do not camp there forever. Learn the lesson. Release the wound. Forgive so you can move freely. Not because the other person earned it, but because you deserve peace. And once peace starts replacing chaos, your whole energy begins to speak before your mouth ever does. Say yes to new experiences because growth speeds up when life gets bigger. Go somewhere you have never been. Try something you always postponed. Put yourself in rooms that challenge your old version. Let new memories interrupt the old pain. The more you see, the more you understand that life is too wide, too rich, and too full to be defined by one relationship ending. Every new step stretches your perspective. Every new win restores some of the confidence pain tried to steal. And there comes a point, if you stay on this path, when you are no longer checking your phone, hoping for a message, no longer reading into every view, no longer waiting for closure, no longer trying to understand why they did what they did. That is the turning point. That is when you truly start winning, because now the power has shifted. People often expect you to stay emotionally available after they leave. They expect you to miss them loudly. They expect you to remain reachable in spirit, even if you are silent in words. But when you move forward with real strength, when you become grounded, focused, and fulfilled, it breaks that expectation. It forces them to face something uncomfortable. You were never as dependent on them as they assumed, and now they are the ones left wondering. If he comes back, and sometimes that happens, do not let the return confuse the lesson. A message does not always mean growth. An apology does not always mean change. Missing access is not the same as missing you. Some people return because they finally understand your value. Others return because they feel the loss of control. That is why your strength will be tested in that moment. Ask yourself hard questions. Did he truly change, or did he simply notice that you are no longer easy to reach? Is he offering consistency or only emotion? Is he bringing clarity or just curiosity? If someone truly valued you, they would not keep gambling with your peace. So your best move is still the same. Keep moving forward. Keep your eyes on your growth, your goals, and your happiness. If he sees that you stayed exactly the same, waiting in the same emotional place, then he has not really lost anything. But if he sees that you have grown, that your standards are higher, that your life is fuller, and that your peace is no longer negotiable, that is when it hits deeply. Be polite if life puts you face to face again, but stay steady. No bitterness, no performance, no cold game. Just calm distance, just self-respect, just grace. And sometimes that quiet composure says more than anything dramatic ever could. The deepest shift happens when you genuinely stop caring whether he feels it at all. Read that again in your spirit. Because the real victory is not making someone regret losing you. The real victory is becoming so anchored in your own life that their regret, their return, their confusion, and their opinion no longer control your emotional weather. There is something deeply unsettling for people when they realize the person they once had access to is no longer available in the same way. Not because you are playing games, but because you have changed for real. You are no longer reacting the same. You are no longer reaching. You are no longer collapsing under their absence. You are no longer easy to affect. That changes the whole dynamic. Suddenly they are the ones wondering. They are the ones checking. They are the ones feeling the distance. But by then you are focused somewhere else. On your peace, on your purpose, on the beautiful life rising in front of you. And that is the final truth. If someone truly wanted to keep you, they would have moved with care. If they let you go, that was their choice. Your choice now is to live so fully, so wisely, and so powerfully that whether they regret it or not, no longer matters. And if you have made it this far, remember this line because it can change your whole life. The strongest comeback is not a message, not an explanation, not revenge. It is a transformed you,